So yeah, we're going to dive into Australia today. Um,
Hmm.
and I just want to share too that I've actually put out a lot of content on Australia. Let me go to that so I can share it with you guys just so you guys can go reference that if you feel called to. So I'll just screen share really quick.
Hmm.
If you go to my channel and you kind of scroll down to my videos and you go about a year back, it's about 1 year ago. I put out 3 major deep dives on Australia. The Wizard Lives in the Land of Oz, Canberra, Squaring the Circle Technologies, Cosmic Grid Upgrade, Land of Oz, Return of the Prison Colony, and a planetary branding deep dive on the Harold E. Halt uh, 13 tower planetary branding that they have going on here. So I really have deep dived Australia like for a while. I have a lot of interest in it. Again, I feel like we're very much a sister country to Australia. And so yeah, I just recommend going and watching these videos just so if you feel called. I did get a lot of good feedback on those videos. People were very just appreciative that I took the time to deep dive it so extensively. So I just recommend going and watching that, as I think it will complement a lot of the information that me and Felix are going to be bringing forward today as well.
Brilliant.
Um, and we want to say first and foremost too that we're definitely very here for our family in Australia.
Mhm.
But I also don't want our Australian family to be offended because me and Felix are not from Australia. So as we remote view and as we kind of dive into the grids, there might be things like we might mispronunciate some of the
Mm.
words or some of the terms. That's kind of some of the thing that came up for me in the past, Felix.
Okay.
I said things wrong and I just kind of set off that trigger. Uh,
Yeah.
but I also want to express some of my directness because we will be talking about like prison ideology. I think prison ideology is going to come forward today. In terms of Australia's deep past, that there's been a lot of like prison oppression or prison suppression that has happened in terms of the land mass memory. So some of that might come up. So I just wanted to just kind of give you guys like a forewarning.
Hmm.
So we're gonna decode some of these things. Um,
Yeah.
and also just give the perspective that we don't live there. So everything that we're picking up on and seeing, we're doing it remotely. So
Hmm.
sometimes things can come in not like fully on the marker. Wouldn't you say, Felix? Like we're kind of like
Yeah.
within
It's
it.
you kind of have like a little radial spin of information just to gather and draw it all in together before hitting the nail on the head. So sometimes I might pick up one side of the other side of the sphere, whereas Indy might get the right hemisphere. So we kind of work together to balance and bring the information together to get a more well-rounded picture. So yeah, it does kind of work inward like that. I have also just been reminded now, I'm just hearing about the Aboriginal abuse that's going on over there as well. And I'm being pointed to the north, south, east, west, northeast, is where I'm having my focus taken to here. So I feel like maybe we could kind of dive into that a little bit. I don't
Okay.
really know anything about that consciously, but we can just see where that goes. Maybe send some support there as well. I feel like they're calling out for it actually, to be honest. Asking for the help. And you know, as we all kind of sit within that collective body and field, it depends on who manages to pick it up and kind of tune into that waveform as well. Uh, and then it gets sent. I'm also seeing Cetus as well, the Cetus constellation coming in as well now, the whales. I feel them coming in and giving their support as well, and really rich tones of magenta.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
I quickly just want to give a shout out to a divine sister, which I didn't have time to respond to her via email, but this was Beth Jennings. When I had originally posted my thumbnail for this remote view and deep dive that me and Felix were going to do, I had put the Sydney Opera House as my background. Now I'm realizing after last night, after I sat with this, that I did that for a reason that I'm going to get into today. But she ended up sending me some very more detailed pictures of Canberra specifically. So I think what we're gonna do is I put Canberra on the title today, as that we're gonna deep dive Canberra.
Mm.
But essentially, we're gonna deep dive the entire continent. Like, we are going full in. The entire immensity of what Australia is. It's not just one place. So just keep that in mind. But I did go ahead and change the background to the Telestra Tower, as I think the Telestra Tower is very significant right now in terms of things that are happening, in terms of changes going on in Australia. So we're gonna get in and talk about that. But I just wanted to bring that up. That I appreciated Beth for reaching out and getting me some of this information. And so thank you, girl. Thank you, sister. So much appreciated. Just wanted to let you know that it was received, and I appreciated the information.
Do you think maybe we could pull up some of those pictures today whilst we go into the different continent subsections as well? Because sometimes when we have the actual photographs of the place rather than just a map, we can pull in so much more information as well. I feel like that would be really good.
Yeah, I can try to do that for sure.
Brilliant.
So let's do that. And Felix, do you want to go ahead and just looking at the comments really quickly?
Okay.
You want me to share them with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So we do have to share the comments when we do stream live from Zoom. We don't get to actually see comments like we would if we were on StreamYard. StreamYard seems to be a little bit more flexible platform, but I just like Zoom because it has more flexibility in the sharing capacities. Yeah, so this is kind of what we have going. Let's see. Hello, Indigo. I've woken up at 2 a.m. This is from Kaz, Truth Warrior from the land down under Australia. So excited for this. The Centaurus comes in as well. Totally on point. The moon is intense. People are getting heart pains. I had some heart pains this morning. Working out of body with all incarnations of mine today, the first day to rest. Okay, also some attacks are coming through. Why do portals sync with the Gregorian calendar, e.g. the 4/4 gateway? Good question. I saw fish people there. Hello, Indian Felix. They are so strong. They're attacking them because of their strong rose and heart chakras connection. You know, I think that when I think about this portal sync with the Gregorian calendar and the 4/4 gateway, I really get taken to Giza. I get taken to the 4th planetary stargate. I think that's a 4th dimensional stargate, and I think it is holding a lot of data collection and information in terms of the religious Templars as well. Everything that descended from the ancient Egyptian kingship and pharaonic ship that came down through the brotherhoods of ancient Egypt. And I think that even like Abraham and Moses and all of this descended down through these lines. And so I think it is a founding point in terms of Stargate energy that created the 4 religions, like Judaism, Christianity, Muslim, and also the Armenian quarter as well. So I think there might be contention in that Stargate. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm also seeing with that as well, the celestial bodies come through to communicate through that point. And I feel like it's almost like a giving and receiving of different informations and different subcategories to kind of filter and move through into that kind of mindset of separation, that mindset of compartmentalizing energetic information, which then would also play out in how the receiver wants to kind of work with that info. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you're feeling contention when it comes to the Gregorian, it just may be that you're shifting out of the 3rd dimensional time perception and accessing more of the 4th dimensional or even 5th dimensional time perception.
Mm.
So, of course, there's going to be forces that are going to make you feel resistance with that.
Mm.
As every time we level up a dimension, we have bigger levels of, I want to say, bosses that come forward. It's almost like I feel like I'm like in a video game.
Yeah, I
I
definitely feel
have
that.
another boss I have to defeat in terms of maybe my own inner mind frame that's sitting there as an unconscious aspect of me that is fighting my own battle against me to help
Yeah,
to help me grow.
yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. It's definitely one of those things you have to kind of dismantle along the way and then get to those core points where you come into levels of contention, but how do you hold yourself within that? Or you come into these challenges, these kind of boss fights, interactions, as you say, to then understand how it is that you're going to compete within that. Is, are you able to hold yourself in neutrality and not rise to the bait?
Right.
So yeah.
But then again, there is something in the learning process of rising in some of the bait at the same time. So like even
Yeah.
like just the process of dissecting around it, if
Mm.
you gaining levels of mastery within attaining your tact.
Yeah. It's also kind of matching the opposition, if you will, to not lose out on your own energetic empowerment within that. I find that's quite interesting, having to stand up for yourself and level up so more of your energy doesn't go into a reversal. Um, so yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, very true.
Multifaceted, isn't it?
Yeah. We had a comment that says, I lived in the UK and Malta. They have some ancient portals. I felt a dragon vibe in the Malta near the Etna volcano. You know, I was really picking up on the Brotherhoods of Malta when it came to Australia as well. When it came to the Masonic templating, that there's connections with that. So maybe we should just dive in. Do you think we should
Yeah,
dive in? Okay.
yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it. Acuerdas Matías, no, sí, yeah?
I'm gonna go to my map. You know how we do. Let me pull up the
Yeah,
map.
absolutely.
So yeah, this is the map that I had I charted a while back, but I thought we could use the same one
Mm.
and start to kind of dive into Australia here. Now, I did actually want to put in the Sydney Opera House. Hang on just a second. Sydney. Let's go ahead and mark that really quick. I want to start here, actually, if you don't mind.
Okay. What's all this black smoke that's like in the water?
I'm going to put a heart on it and I'm going to change the color to a red.
Okay.
It's my red heart showing up.
Mm.
Ah, lovely.
Yay, got it.
Okay, let's zoom into it.
Do we want to just run protections and whatnot?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that before we get started. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just do a clearing and stretching of the fields as we come in together today. Just layering up on Yogora's Matiash diamond shielding. Yeah, Doris Notos Yogora. I'm working from the first. Yeah, okay. So I'll just do it to the 15th dimensional field. Layer by layer, installing diamond shielding. And I'm also seeing yellow crystal geometries expanding through the horizontal axes here, while seeing aquamarine fountain rays of light emerging from beneath the feet, from the core of the earth, all the way up through the vertical pillar. Releasing out any fear, any self-doubt, any worry, any anxiety, dissolving with this aquamarine light from the core of the earth and rising up into the grand central sun. Feeling heightened bliss tones merge from beneath the feet and running up through the heart center. And seeing rich magenta light moving down and interplaying with the aquamarine, creating a double spiral sequence. Lock and code.
Felt that come through.
I felt that really strongly, yeah. It's just flashed with encryption as well through the vertical pillar. And the horizontal axis has just flashed into white. Restoring fallen arcs through the dimensional spheres. I'm feeling a lot of compression over the back of the neck, the back of the throat here. It's almost as if like the voices have been locked into position, locked into a kind of limitation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling the base of the spine really expand here as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of pain at the base of the spine, and then I'm feeling the release of that come through.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm really feeling called to, like, I keep hearing the words white quartz or like sandstone and limestone that were like grounding the container energy into these rudimentary rock systems to protect the entire container as we remote view into Australia.
Okay, and I also feel we can connect into the sands of time there as well and run this protection, run this clearing all the way through the sands. And I'm just feeling all of the body shift within this as if heavy rock formations and hardness, sediment is washing away from the body. And I'm seeing and feeling flows of water just washing over the front, cleansing through the back, and really expanding that spinal cord as well. It's getting in between all of the vertebrae, all of the discs that sit between.
Clearing the 10th vagus nerve.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm also seeing the shields come in right now. So also the diamond relics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is my go-to every time, Felix. You already know.
Really?
The diamond helmet, the diamond breastplate, the diamond boots, the diamond spear.
Yeah.
Seeing the diamond templating come up from the crystal star core matrix of the inner solar plexus.
Oh.
Okay, and then I'm seeing right now as we connect into the guardianship, okay, that we're anchoring in a guardian shield, a diamond multifaceted geometric guardian shield that has ruby and emerald diamonds that are crossing through the center that are coming in as an additional breastplate shield.
Interesting. Love that. I'm also seeing tones of sapphire as well, really elevate. Spheres of sapphire sitting through the points on the shield.
I can see that's beautiful. That's going right down into the diamond crystal mantle underneath the earth. Wow. Okay, and now I'm seeing other shields activate as we work through that.
Brilliant. I'm also seeing the Pegasus animal coming in here. With the chariot as well. Right, symbolic of the Merkaba.
Mm-hmm. And then I see this like breaking down of the checkerboard mutations. Like as we activate these shields, we're actually breaking through that matrix system so we can get into the core structures of Australia. Like we're fracturing the scatter radiation templating.
Brilliant.
And then I see sunstone coming down.
Lovely. I'm actually hearing the angel sound as well, the angel song. And it's almost mirroring and matching to the opera house.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I'm getting pain across the back left side of the solar plexus. It's a whole load of fear that's been impinged through the solar plexus. It's a disempowerment.
I'm seeing it coming through the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
Blockages in the Ark of the Covenant. It's wow, there's like a whole underlying collective field of beings that are in fear because of the loss of the Ark that connects us into the Andromedan passageways.
Right.
And it extends from the opera house. Yeah, so let's just keep anchoring ourselves down here more into the opera house.
I'm feeling that magnetic pull being taken in here.
Okay, so we are protected.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just activating real quick, Felix, astral shields, crystal shields, plasma shields, radiation shields, and black magic shields to come up into our field. And everyone watching today, we're also including you in this as well.
And I'm also seeing a indigo cape that's being taken around the collective Merkaba field.
Yeah, and it has cloaking capacities.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're actually cloaking ourselves right now. So as we come into remote view this, we're cloaking ourselves, even though I feel like we are dropping down into a target location that is of the highest good. I will put it that way. We are actually coming into a field of the Emerald Covenant. So what I'm picking up from this location is that it is carrying the codes of the original holographic CDT plates of the Emerald Covenant.
I'm getting mafia ties to Italy as well through this building, through this location. And I feel like it's almost like a kind of shipping port of wealth.
Okay. I'm seeing this like extended bridge of emerald waves that are connecting into all 12 tribal principles. Okay, and I can see that the angelic human seeds are here up underneath this landmass, almost as a geometric divine templating that is infusing the waters here. So I can see that the blue flame is running through the Sydney Opera House. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of ley lines that are actually extensively connecting in. So like you just picked up on, some of them were grayed out, meaning that they're pulling in information from the Vatican or from even Jesuit or Freemasonic orders, but then that them are like untouchable.
Yeah.
Literally untouchable because they're carrying cosmic Christos energy, or they're carrying literally, I'm seeing the discs. I'm literally seeing the discs here. I'm seeing the actual emerald crystal heart.
Wow. I'm actually seeing that coming in and merging through the collective body as we're kind of playing into this. I'm seeing one disc rotate anti-clockwise, the other one rotate clockwise, and it's creating a propulsion in between. And I'm feeling that run and upgrade through the heart. And I can see this connect out across the horizontal line right to the event horizon. And as we reach the event horizon of the fields, I'm seeing these rings of yellow connecting into higher harmonic resonance, I would say into 14th dimensional field.
Yeah, okay, I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing all of humanity regenerate the DNA towards the gold sun here. And then I'm seeing the bioregenesis process happen here.
Brilliant. I'm also seeing the Mayan pyramid of Kukulkan, the mother-arching site of Mexico, the Chichen Itza.
Oh, wow.
And what's on top of that is like a biblically accurate Oraphim angel. So the eye in the many rings. And what's coming with this, I'm seeing this big yellow gold Templar emanation of light expand through the structure.
Okay. With that, I'm seeing the divine ray of free will.
Okay. And what I'm seeing as well is the connection from source, the source light fields coming in and blending down into that angel and into this structure, this building, and turn the building from stone to liquid gold.
Yes.
Over the structure.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. It's like a reverence for life. I'm seeing it as almost a starseed port. Okay, so it's like starseeds can actually anchor their field into this location and draw up full regenerative powers up into the heart chakra. Full regenerative renewal and rehabilitation of the full 12-strand DNA into the Andromedan corridor, that this is still an active corridor.
Okay, I'm also getting the octahedron as well here, a violet octahedron. And I'm seeing it almost as if it's like some kind of puzzle box. And what I can see is the top and the bottom pivoting, twisting and resetting itself. And as it begins to reset and structure into this new formation, it's creating into a new geometry.
Okay, we have some comments coming in here, Felix. They're saying that they are also seeing ruby crystals.
Okay.
They're getting strong electromagnetic shields. They're seeing underwater cages.
Okay.
And like beings are freeing themselves from the cages.
Okay.
They're also seeing the blue flame here.
Brilliant. That's really great. I feel like those blue cages are connecting into that prison consciousness, the prison of Australia, because it was originally a prison island, wasn't it? A prison continent.
I want to just pull back and look at this a little bit. Wow, so we have the Sydney Opera House surrounded by the waters. Why is this land so dark here?
Well, that's what I was thinking as well when I was looking into it. I was like, why is it all black and why is it so...
Shark Island, Clark Island. If we have any Aussies in the house, if you know why the waters are dark here, please let us know.
It's very angular as well. It's not like, look at on the left side of Sydney Opera House, there's a direct angular point into the blackness there.
Wow, why are the waters dark?
Why are the water? Oh my God. Okay. Would this have something to do with the water technology, the water manipulation that was coming through Canberra? What I feel with that is like there's some kind of water program.
Is that like, let me zoom out just a little bit and see if it changes.
Why is it around this major city as well?
Wow, so like, yeah, the water is blue over here and then it gets dark. Okay. That's really strange. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so if, you know, if the Sydney Opera House is that galactic portal, it's holding the emanation of the original Emerald template. It's exuding the waters of fresh life, right? Fresh renewal, fresh rehabilitation. And then the waters around it can't impede that because it's like this standing point of rejuvenation within the grid structures, that maybe all of this water is polluted on some level.
Yeah. Well, I feel there is levels of pollution kind of within, it's like an artificial program is what I'm getting with it.
Okay. That would be such a shame if that much of the water was polluted.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great, would it?
No, it would not. I'm also getting that I think we need to focus on deeper levels of restoration here. Like this is a place that we need to really focus on sending our energy.
Okay.
So I'm just calling in the highest divine light of the divine Christos and Sophia principles, the highest ascended states of the seraphim. I see a recollection of the dragon parts here and restoring more of the dragon body, calling in the powers of the fresh waters, calling in the powers of the Black Mountain and the natural resources of white quartz, sandstone, and limestone to filter in and restore these passageways to allow star seeds to be able to access the true and original divine blueprint from this galactic location. Clearing all governmental programs, clearing anything artificial, anything of alien machinery, extracting the negative agendas, extracting the imposition against divine will and free will upon the people of Australia, and relinquishing the control center to the organic principles of life, extracting all reversal codes here, extracting anything of anti-life structures, plugging us back into the original divine organic matrix system, plugging the waters back into health, the fresh waters, calling upon the health of the fresh waters. I'm getting the frequency of salt coming in to purify as well, that the salt is actually coming in to extract impurities.
Okay. What I'm also seeing is the scales of justice coming in, diamond scales of justice connecting in, and each part of it are holding a geometric configuration. As it's coming to overlay, I'm seeing it almost, it's connecting to the landmass, but what's also happening here is almost what I feel like an earthquake, which is shaking up the foundations of the earth body and releasing out all of this black netting, grey tone, rock formation stagnation, almost like concrete. And that's building through the layers of the intervention, the fields of the intervention, and departicularizing upon impact. I'm seeing a big diamond crystal, as if like that, overlining to the scene now as well. And what I can see is through the head of the crystal, through the diamond shape of the crystal, becomes a dragon. And the dragon body begins to rebuild itself as if where it was departicularized before, it's now going in reversal back to a materialized structure. And I'm seeing it drink from the clear waters, from the clear emerald waters. And I can feel the lungs through.
I'm feeling this really run through right now, Felix. My sacral is receiving.
Yeah, I'm feeling the lungs expand within the dragon. And I'm also seeing it turn from grey into green emerald.
We have a question coming in saying, is there cube tech in that location? So what I'm seeing is that the cube tech is surrounding it in a distance, that there is cube tech that is running, but it's not, it is in this location in the darker waters, but also in Canberra as well.
Mm.
But this area is protected by the divine. It's protected. I'm also getting called now, Felix, that this is running into the core world wounding of Australia, into the prison mindset.
Okay. Can we just take the map up to Brisbane in the east, just above Sydney?
Okay.
And just see, there's Brisbane. Just pull out a minute. Bit more. I just want to see this line of structure because I'm seeing that connecting to the body. There it is. Okay, so you see where Townsville is and Mackay, just north of Brisbane. You've got running through the head of it, or the backbone, the top of the backbone, connecting through Caledonia, that ley line that's running through New Caledonia. That's the spine. That was what came to me earlier.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I had seen that they're running frequency fences at that ley line. That all of this is ultimately coming from Pine Gap, Area 52, that they are implementing a 4-quadrant infrastructure of frequency fences and secluding certain sectors of Australia to run VLF, which is very low frequency transmissions. All of this ultimately, I think, is coming from Xmas.
Sorry, I thought you said Xmas then, as in like Christmas. I was like,
yeah, Xmas. I'm going to tune into Xmas really quick. Okay, so as we were just really picking up on the divine energies for coming through, I'm getting infiltration. So
okay.
I'm gonna tune in here.
Okay.
Just going down, going down. Okay, so I'm getting that there's like multiple points that they are running artificial VLF through particular ley lines. One of these points I think is Xmas, that it's coming and they're doing it at a 13-dimensional level. So they're implementing through 13 dimensions and they're triggering the pain and trauma bodies in the grid and the cellular memory of the grid, and which was where the British government used to send 165,000 convicts to Australia by the sea. So I think they're hitting the trigger points in the genetic code to run stolen generational consciousness, to run the effects and consequences of ghost people. I'm seeing ghost people, people who are existing in ghost form that are still holding the traumas of the original Aboriginal lands and the great bloodshed that had happened. I'm seeing this through like particular prison locations on the grid. But I feel like this is coming through the VLF transmission. So it's coming through nuclear energy, it's coming through secret space programs, it's coming through extraterrestrial invitational programs to our planet. It's coming through Men in Black. It's coming through reenacting through that VLF and inferior collective mind transmission. So they're using the quadrant system to run that inferior mind transmission into the grids. So there's what I'm getting overall in Australia. It's an overall unresolved submission and fear to the hierarchy or the powers that be. I think this is also stemming off of beast machine mechanics that are going back to the Temple Mount and the Kaaba and locations in West Africa. But I think that they're tying in here to a deeper level of Saturnian branding and prison colony trauma, which is like a netting. It's like a prison colony netting that's encompassing the entire continent itself.
Yeah, I was just getting that as well before you said that. I'm also just noticing within this hexagon that there is also the Star of David within there as well. And I feel like that's kind of landlocking the Merkaba fields. Oh, push me. I need to go deeper into that.
Yeah, we have to clear the multidimensional fields. We also have to override the artificial technology that Area 52 has attained.
Okay, so what I'm seeing around that hexagon is like a fire templating, a fire. The only thing that it's equating to for me is like the gates of hell.
Well, it's interesting because I'm picking up on galactic interference, but it's both positive and negative.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like there's planetary archon tampering, and then there's also like I'm also picking up on like this true Nibirian like royalty energy that's also coming through.
Royalty energy.
Yes. Like they're using this passageway for good and for bad.
Right, okay. Yeah. That's what I felt with that earlier as well. It was almost like a free-for-all entry point, but obviously controlled at the same time. But why I'm seeing these flames, there's an element to this that feels almost like imprisonment, almost like when you kind of step into this star configuration, you're kind of trapped, you're unlocked.
I'm getting on a human level. It's controlled through the secret space program and the Navy. I'm getting that there's like a Decepticon within the governmental factions that they're then working for the secret space programs. They're working for other extraterrestrial and ultra-terrestrial dominions that they're not even aware of the contracts that they have taken.
Yeah. It's manipulation, isn't it? Complete manipulation.
Manipulation.
Yeah. I also feel that's kind of like tackling into the frequency fencing as well, where the mind isn't as active or as strong as it possibly could be here. But this is going over the entirety of Australia. And that, when I say that, I don't mean that in like a negative way. It feels like technology. It feels manipulated with AI tech that's causing that. So it's not like anyone's dumb. It's purely technological. And to be fair, I felt something very similar in London when I was in London last August. Layers of technology that were blocking the connection of people to the higher selves, particularly through central London and through the city of London. It was very, very dense, and there was almost no connection to anything outside of the 9-to-5 mindset.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm also getting it has to do something with like blocking up the 13th dimensional arcing system.
Okay.
Like, because it's like this is generating to 13 different ley lines, 13 different tower points, 13 different towers. And there's something in the symbolism of the towers. This tower point is connecting to the Tower of Babel. It's also connecting to the Tower of Telestra. Like there is a tower obsession that has to do with how they're linking the ground energy or the groundwork into the heavens. So they're seeing the towers as an intermediary passageway. I'm getting there's like been a lot of lightning strikes here.
Okay, interesting. So what I was also seeing there as well, these other towers, like there's one in Germany, there's one in Japan, and they've got these little spheres at the top of them with points that go directly up, the sphere and a point. I'm seeing that's also connected into this tower network, these 13 towers. And
Yeah.
with the lightning
And
strike,
where in Germany?
sorry,
Where in
I
Germany?
think it's in Berlin, but I can't be sure. There's also the Tokyo Tower as well.
Okay. It's like a tower network. And it's like
Yeah,
the obelisk. It's like the obelisk network is connecting into the tower network.
yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And also with that scorching as well, when I was looking at Alice Springs earlier, I was feeling and noticing almost as if the land had been completely burnt down or bombed as well when I was tuning into that space. And even like if you look to the left of Exmouth here, the formation, if you go back in, you can see, or wherever, that's got like
Over here?
this kind, yeah, just zoom into the where the X is in the middle of that. So you can see it almost looks like burn marks on the skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And then
I have a sensitive mouse. Sorry.
yeah, just to the left of that.
It's just it doesn't want to every time I touch it. Okay. I have a brand new Apple wireless mouse, guys. I apologize. Um
Yeah, there's like a formation on the left side. You can see all of these different lines and ley lines within that hexagon, can't you? It's amazing.
yeah.
So just on the left where the Sydney Opera House sign is, you can, it literally looks to me like burn marks or burn scars.
Well, I want to just state while you're talking about this burn mark aspect of it, there is a technology here that the Dracos have used for a long time. And
Mm,
this is the technology of planetary branding. So they find areas within the grid that are hypercharged with that blue flame, that are hypercharged with that 13th dimensional mother arcing energy, the aquamarine rays, and
mm,
they will brand the site through iron ores or metallic ores such as silver or whatever it is, conductor, copper, and they will encode that into their infiltration system. These roads that we're looking at over top of the landmass we may be looking at an entire planetary branding system that underneath what is carved out here is a iron system of an encodement that is emanating the distortions or scrambling frequency technologies, VLF, very low frequencies, through the organic structure. So that way it cannot have clear passageways. I told you about this earlier. When we were talking, do you see these ley lines that I mapped out from Exmouth to the
mm.
Kaaba?
Yeah.
Exmouth, okay, within relativity to Jerusalem, the Temple
Mhm.
Mount, Andromeda's rock.
Yeah.
These passageways are the true passageways into our internal core galactic synchronization structures that come through the aurora passageways. And so I think that there's some level of tampering going on here where they're trying to block the transmission from Australia, because we have to think about the immensity of Australia. Australia holds the original Pleiadian seed codes. Australia holds the original Dreamwalker codes. They are the beings that birthed from the original land of Lemuria. So
Mm,
everyone who lives in Australia essentially is holding that genetic code in their soul body, in their soul field.
yeah.
Now, if they found a way to tamper and block the transmission from Uluru, which why wouldn't they have done that? Look at where Pine Gap is. Pine
Mm,
Gap is here. Uluru is
there. Yeah.
this one or this one?
It's the one just beneath it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Red, follow red. Here's Uluru going through Canberra, going
Mhm.
through up to Andromeda's rock. And we so conveniently have Pine Gap here to run VLF to
Yeah,
try to block the
absolutely.
13th dimensional mother arcing systems.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I get like enraged because it almost makes me feel like my hunter tribal warrior-esque codes are coming online, and I want to go out there and savagery and cannibalistically eradicate that.
oh my God, get this girl some water now.
Give me some water.
Chill.
Water. I have water. But I mean, really, I mean, not, you know, don't do anything crazy like that. But I mean, it's, I feel the passion of the igniting of the flames, that it is, that it can't fully be overtaken, but that it is being disillusioned, and it is being, watered down, so to speak, and that this quadrant on the lower southeastern corner is being slowly run through a kill shot. They're being run through kill shots.
Mm.
A slow kill.
Do you think we can dive into Alice Springs from here? I feel like this is a good time to kind of jump in there. I'm seeing so much already. I almost feel like I need to make myself a cup of tea.
Make that tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the kettle on.
Put the kettle on. Let's go.
Yeah, the kettle's on, guys. So
today, if you want to put on some tea, make some tea.
yeah,
We're intermissionary break.
intermission.
I'll read some of the comments here. I got the comments up, guys. This is a very powerful segment. They've been harnessing human consciousness with towers, which seems to act like acupuncture. Yes, the Vatican connected to the galactic spiders I saw. What if the continents are holographic representations of parts of the human brain? Yeah, I think that's very possible. This is very powerful segment. I saw many ships with a blue light that get charged by the moon, and the moon gets charged when we use the internet. Antichrist. Yeah, this is all definitely Antichrist. I honestly get, at least with Canberra, that this is coming through Freemasonry, and at least in terms of the Aryan timeline spectrum, that Freemasonry has definitely ruled this. Going back to Jesuit orders and Luciferian Knights Templar. I saw many ships with a blue light that get charged by the moon, and moon gets charged when we use the internet. Oh, I think I already read that. Sorry. It's angering, isn't it? Yeah, I get fired up. I get pumped. I really do. I get like so passionate. Anti means in the place of, and AI is all about replacing true intelligence with augmented intelligence. Yes, definitely true. I've definitely seen some pushback recently, though, in terms of AI, with wanting to ban certain aspects of AI, like wanting to ban the replica of making AI look like humans. Like, actually, like, we should ban that. Like, AI should not look like humans.
Oh my God.
That we should change that AI in no way resembles human beings, so that way we can clearly, distinctly differentiate that. I think they're running bans on AI right now, to be honest with you. And they're starting to enforce the implementation of what they can and can't do with it, that they might be banning to make AI replicate the structure of the human body, just so that way we can't confuse it, or that it can't overcome or overpower us. I think that's being taken into real consideration in some governmental legalities and stuff like that. That's what I've heard anyways.
Do you know what? It's really interesting you're jumping in on that conversation. We're going slightly off piece there, but I saw these movies designed by Balenciaga. These, and it wasn't done by Balenciaga, or at least it's portrayed that way. And they've basically copied like Harry Potter styled by Balenciaga and things like that. And I feel it's so realistic and so real that it's almost as if they're trying to make a comeback from what we know they've just done with their last campaign, or the campaign in autumn winter last year. to try and make this comeback through this AI modulation. It's crazy. It's really insane, and it looks so real. It's gross. Anyway, right.
A question that asked me something.
Mhm.
They said, what was the Emerald Order?
Mhm.
Can you answer? Do you want to answer that, or?
I know you go for that one. I haven't got a very clear order, a clear answer with that one. When I see the Emerald Order, it's almost like a guardian collective that were there to kind of work to, number one, hold information ready for the repositioning of the higher consciousness coming back to Earth. And it's all about all of this information reintegrating back in. So it's holding that kind of information for us to obtain. That would be my kind of Cliff Notes edition.
Yeah, I think you're correct. It comes from the founder records. I do feel it comes from the Guardian Alliance, which when we talk about the Guardian Alliance, we're talking about specific nations and races that were coveted under particular contracts to see the soul spirit body of humankind. There's 6 universal founder nations, but there's many nations outside of that that also contracted under that are just not spoken about. But originally, these are the beings. You could call them blue flame holders. You could call them, all those that are attaining all the indigo types, but they originally hold the Emerald Covenant CDT holographic plates within their body. So it's actually within their universal tree of life. And these beings belong to the original human 12 tribes. So I really do feel like, again, aligning back to Andromeda, this has a lot to do with the Magi Grail lines, the Magi Indigo lines, which I do feel were present on Tara, going previous to the Tiamat body. Okay, so this is like billions of records of holding the original angelic blueprint and encodement and original dragon parts as well. So I think it encompasses the totality of our human galactic history. Those that hold the Emerald Founder records hold the totality of our human galactic history and are considered to hold the divine blueprint of all angelic humans, no matter what timeline they came through. So it is powerful. I think this is what we're all getting back to ultimately, right? We talk about reclamation of the dragon parts, going back to Tara. I think this is what it's about.
Definitely.
It's just recognizing the codes within your ascension, within your DNA. It's really, there are original holographic discs that are said to contain the actual scribe information for what's on those discs, and that they are also held in the planetary body. I'm honestly picking up that the Sydney Opera House is one of those locations.
I really feel that as well. And also with the Hill of Tara in Ireland as well. That was very much one of those locations. And I also saw in Galway a part of the female dragon bodies being restructured and built of the dragon womb was in Galway in Ireland. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think Ireland is holding multiple locations, and that's why it's so powerful. And I think that comes down to the northern trajectory, because we think about the reigning North Pole star, Polaris, which is what is encoded to the original root race, the Polarians, the first root race.
Yeah.
But if we precede that history, I think we're looking at Cygnus, or we're looking at Aquila or Lyra as the original reigning pole star. And what root races preceded those processions of our total planetary galactic history. So which has not been decoded. But if we know the reigning pole star, we know all the encodement in which unfolds. So if I've always picked up that Cygnus held all of the original indigo templating on the Earth, period, going back to Tara. I think Cygnus was the original reigning pole star.
Wow.
At least to the original procession prior to this one. So I think that has a lot to do with the dragon templating. I think it has a lot to do with restoring the serpent wisdom here within our individualized root races of the Polarian systems. Because we have to restore serpent knowledge. We have to understand that serpent knowledge, dragon knowledge, they're all falling under the same soul groups of the ascended seraphim. That seraphim outlives the Elohai in terms of angelic descendancy order. That's just the truth I keep coming back to. I'm open to new truths. Trust me, I really am. I'm so open-minded. I'm willing to see where I'm closed-minded.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that.
But I think it plays a part in all of this, and I think it plays a part in the original Emerald Order. There was a lot of I think records that have descended down from the Emerald Order in terms of this particular different differentiations of those root races, but it has a lot to do with the law of one, keeping the sacred wisdom, protecting that information in these particular time cycles. So those that are encoded to the Emerald Order are holding the protection spheres of that ancient wisdom. And as one wakes up to remember that more and more, they can see the CD plates holographically actually light up in their own body. You can actually become holographically encoded to those original plates, all of them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been seeing like codes of structuring of the holographic CDT templates coming in for quite a while now. I'm particularly running from the base of the spine up to the top of the neck where the sacrum, the cranial sacrum intersects. And it's within that, as it begins to spin, like it did earlier through Sydney, all of this genetic information starts to spin and move through the spinal tissues, almost as if like within the spinal column itself, there are 12 segments within that, which is illuminating and lighting up, that's ready to go and start to bring this information down and through. And then you've got the 13th, which runs straight through the middle.
And it's so crazy that all of this is coming up as we move through the Australian landmass. Like even as we say this, like I'm getting visions of like a 13 dragon Ouroboros, like this like circulating in the continent itself. And yeah, I get like images of just like a beam of light that's just extenuating through the ley lines of Australia. Like it's almost as if Australia was the original heartland center of Pangea. Like it was somehow encompassed as the heart chakra. I'm just feeling that right now.
You go right for it, girl. Should we jump into Alice Springs?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Just 1 second. Let me find where I was. Okay,
Right.
we're already in Alice Springs. Hey.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the base that's just next to it.
Okay, oops. Alice Springs, the base that's next to it is this.
So that little thingy
Pine
there.
Gap?
Yeah. Pine Gap. That's what I meant to say, Pine Gap, not Alice Springs.
Pine Gap. Now,
Right.
let me just state something really quick for the record before we zoom in. Like, do you see how this entire area of Australia is basically browned out? What I was psychically picking up on is that this was nuclear impact from the timeline of Lemuria, that there was some sort of nuclear impact that took out the structures and the main core body of Australia. from previous timelines, previous root races.
Hmm.
Hair to
And
loop.
I'm seeing it as well with like all the burn marks and the scarification running through it as well.
Yeah.
So what I am seeing coming in here is a big dodecahedron crystal or a dodecahedron geometry. So I picked mine up and I'm seeing it connect into the mental field of Australia.
Okay.
Just showing my crystal there. And as it comes in, it's almost like it's dropped in the ocean of the mental field. And then it begins to reverberate and expand outwards, where I'm seeing all of this black netting. And my body's just going tight in some places and then contraction and expansion. Where I'm now seeing through the mental field is all of this grey smoke lifting and releasing.
Yeah, it's clearing. I almost see like 44 DNA plugs that are coming in.
Okay.
Like they're all plugged in, and it seems as if it's connected to distortions such as Abraham, Moses, King of Solomon. I'm seeing like this, I'm seeing like the Draco seals come in, like they're stamping this on the unbelievers or
Hmm.
the unbelievers, they're stamping the seals.
Hmm.
This is coming through different versions of hybrid Draco Anunnaki hybrids.
Right. So it's almost akin with that planetary branding, the same
Mhm.
story as what they're doing to the
Mhm.
people, right?
Mhm. Again, blocking more of the Ark of the Covenant technologies.
Hmm. So I'm just feeling so much lift off the chest at the moment, and off the heart. I feel very sad as well as this is kind of dissipating, departicularizing and raising and lifting. I feel the separation. I feel the belief system of disconnection, of separation that's kind of sitting through the body. And I'm getting a lot of expansion and release through the root chakra, the base of the spine.
I just want to tune into it.
Mm.
So this is Pine Gap. This is considered Area 52. This is what would be communicating with the Harold E. Holt 13-dimensional tower radio station of the upper echelon of secret government code. Also tying into the Telestra Tower, I do believe as well. We had talked before, Felix, about the Telestra Tower being currently in Australia. It's
Switched off, isn't it?
out of order. It's out of
Yeah,
order.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Which I think they're doing things there with that. But yeah, so this would be I think an area in which, let's see if we can tune in. What are you picking up on as you get?
Oh my God, so much. Okay, so alien genetics and hybridization experiments and sampling, taking samples of different beings and creatures and locking them, keeping them contained within this sort of space. I'm getting chimera experimentational sampling and again species blending.
Like bioweapon development.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also getting, you know who came up just in my mind just now?
Who?
Who was the president of Clinton? Hillary Clinton.
Right.
I'm getting Hillary Clinton.
Ew, and we definitely don't want her in our minds, that's for sure.
Her like energetically connected to Pine Gap.
Right, okay, I'm getting so much pain over the back of my head right now as you're bringing that forwards as well. What I'm also seeing here as well within these, it's like a 4 or 5 tiered, or like an underground facility, with a man-made Stargate connection to Orion. And that's, for some reason, I'm getting that in the East Wing.
Yes. Okay. I'm resonating with that.
And what I'm also getting as well is like a holding station of aeroplane, like an aeroplane hangar within the underground space, and a movement of cargo, movement of technology. And the pictures that are coming to mind is Thunderbirds when the aeroplane flies out of the cliff.
Okay.
And I also get with this, as well as it's drawing power up charge from Urulu with an artificial harvesting power source.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting like this is like a major control center.
Yeah.
It seems to be bleeding out into the intelligence community. I'm getting the words super spies or secret spies.
Okay. Yeah. Let's double, triple up on our protections.
Yeah, let's go ahead and set shields.
We say live on YouTube, right?
Everyone who's watching, set your shields right now. Radiation shields, plasma shields, crystal shields, astral shields, shields, guardian shields. Shield up.
I feel like this is one of the major ports where this mental field distortion is setting in, where the it's one of 5 anchor points for this numbing of the mind.
I feel like we're getting actual interference right now, to be honest with you.
Okay.
We're getting some pushback.
Yeah, well, that's what I was picking up on before. What do you mean, like not being able to tune in so well?
Yeah, I'm starting to get like within the mind wave fields that I was tuning into, it starts to get dizzy. So
Right.
like when I'm tuning in, I start to get like almost as if I'm literally getting dizzy.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling with it as well. I felt like this technology of detouring, meeting with major resistance, and I asked my team about what we are to do about that, and that's when they brought in the gung ho, to be ultra enthusiastic and raise your vibe to elevate it. And it all kind of made sense to me.
I actually have to pull it all the way because it's almost making me nauseated.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Should we tune into Canberra?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go
I
to
think
Canberra.
so. I just don't like what they're doing here. It feels like multiple levels of alien machinery,
Yeah.
invasion. It's happening through the mind wave fields. It's happening through scalar wave technology. It's happening through bioweaponization. It's happening through artificial intelligence. It's happening through like so many layers.
Yeah.
It's implementing and it's attacking the astral fields as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you want to run an extraction there?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll send support in for you as well, as you do.
okay, I'm just tuning into the inner core energy beast machine mechanic of Pine Gut and extracting the seals, extracting the interconnection points into deeper levels of Saturnian matrices. We extract, clear, collapse, dissolve, and release the strong here into the original Atlantean cataclysm template. Restoring this back into the Lemurian timeline, the original invasions. I see this goes back 70,000 years, extracting all radiation contamination, all radiation implosion, radiation attacks, extract, collapse, dissolve, and seal, extracting all colonization and forced Holocaust, forced looks like ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
I've seen Arabian like Iranian triumph over particular colonies as well of the indigenous of Australia.
Mhm.
Extracting the seed codes of suffering, extracting the seed codes of enslavement, extracting the seed codes of lesser fortune, extracting the seed codes of despair and trauma. Extracting this from the government, from the parliament, from the higher echelon of control, the white hats, the Illuminati, extracting all alien forces that are occurring in terms of their disposition of power, extract and eliminate and dissolve the fractals of their energetic forms that are originating from the Pine Gap location now.
Mm.
Hey, I'm getting child trafficking as well.
Uh-huh.
Extracting. Yeah, extracting all forms of child trafficking, child dominion, child perversion.
Mm-hmm.
And corruption and financial gain of wealth from these systems. Extracting all forms of financial gain of wealth from these systems. Collapse and dissolving, releasing the stronghold now. Also experimentation on the children as well through the zygote, through the seed code of creation, through the original fetal cells, extracting and implementing a protective field or barrier around the fetal cells of humankind that are holding the original angelic code to the original angelic land of the Lemurian time, those that were originally here prior to implementation of a radial diversity mutation. Extract, 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 clear, cleanse, transmute, and break down and release the seed codes of this. And so it be.
Makiras na tapos mimonya na kiras na asimya ya tra atio tora asonya na hi kia krashmas ma yaun. To kiras na asya toras ma ati na ayi kiras ni itia push mimo oi ya ayana. Nia trashna siya tora asnya kora na ya yo yo yo. Yo kuras ma atia puras na atpunya na ne ya trashma siya po ho hi kurasho so otupuya.
Thank you for having my back.
You okay, girl?
I needed that.
Yeah, no worries.
It felt heavy there.
Yeah, it really did. I was wondering, like, before, when I was looking into it earlier this week, I was like, oh my God, this is so heavy, this is so dense. And then it like really set into me about how this dumbing down, this mind wave manipulation is really kind of set in there, and how heavy that must be for the people that live there. It's, yeah, really horrible.
Yeah, well, I think they're playing off of the prison mind field. I just want to state to everybody watching today, you see these areas that I hear, or actually here, I'm sorry, these prison cell locations. These are actually, this one here, you can't really see it. Sample. It's not showing me. Sample something, but these are all actual locations that they had actually prison colonies. I think this is still very much over here, this one, Fremantle. These are still very much plaguing the outer layers of the auric and astral fields of those who incarnate here in this land. And so I think that also plays like another doubling up of the oppression that everyone in this land is ultimately facing, fighting back the VLF, the very low frequency emissions from Pine Gap and the Harold E. Holt communication station. And that they're still having to deal with like deeper levels of this just prison mentality. I think it's running through Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Sydney. So that way they can keep the grids in control and monitor the frequency. So as long as everybody is being implemented with that prison mentality, they can keep everybody under control. And then on top of that, use their US satellite surveillance that's coming in through their tower stations, which as we tune into Canberra, which is where we're going now, I think is ultimately being implemented through the Telestra Tower.
Yeah.
I'm just going in bit by bit.
It's dropping in.
Yeah, Black Mountain. Let's see.
Okay, do you want to do Black Mountain first?
Telestra Tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so I got within Black Mountain and Telestra Tower that it was a mind wave scrambler. So this was the point where it gets stemmed out and expanded out to, where it runs from. But what I was also picking up with Black Mountain itself was acting as a charge point for frequency admittance, connecting into the Vernon Circle and the Aisling Mount, which is just to the right of it. So Vernon Circle, that point within it, which was like the hexagonal structure, this artificial hexagonal grid templating, trying to draw up some of that kind of information from there, and anchor into the Hall of Records, or draw from the Hall of Records more accurately.
Right.
Yeah, and
I came into the awareness that Black Mountain was running organic crystal structures, and you're saying that a location over here, so they're drawing off and into the Black Mountain structures to gain some sort of domination over the halls of Amenti.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I also picked up with the Black Mountain was celestial communication, crystal geometries open, expand over the mountaintop in violet, pink, and white. And this runs so deep. This is where the Andromedan codes were coming in that I felt today. Were coming in through a pillar of cosmic consciousness, high vibe codes being streamed and passed through into a network of ley lines that were running through to the inner earth. So this was really interesting to me, because what this kind of presented as was almost like a tree network, one giant cosmic tree connecting into all of these different celestial bodies, and drawing down and anchoring this information through this Black Mountain structure, and then out through the network of Australia.
Like, this is truly one of the organic points that they have here in Canberra.
Yeah, it's so powerful as well. Even when you sit with it, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so high.
Well, there's just so much Masonic symbolism here from Capitol Hill. Were you able to make out any of that Masonic symbolism here? You know what I was seeing last night as I was tuning into this? I was seeing the actual Kabbalistic Jewish tree of life.
Yeah.
I was seeing it run down through the Kabbalistic Jewish capped 10th dimensional tree of life. Okay, so a finite system means that the structures are not infinite, so they're like capped. Like they're there's a word for it. It's called it's where the structures are basically consuming itself for energy preservation. The structure is doing that. It's collapsing in upon itself, running an artificial universal tree of life, or an inverted universal tree of life here.
Yeah.
And that because you see these arcs.
Yeah.
This is how they're arcing the capped universal tree of life energy in. And that's kind of like what I was picking up on it, was that
interesting. Okay, so
no,
if you
definitely it's definitely like a reversal gate. Like this gate, it's a reversal gate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also found it very interesting having these little satellites of circular kind of placement of buildings as well. Right in the center of this, when you actually look at this building, it is in a pyramid tier. And it does have a little pyramid built on top of it. Now, with these arcs, what I was getting with that, it was almost like wave formations drawing in it's almost as if it's trying to draw into the pyramid point, which is acting as the solar plexus. Because my solar plexus is just wincing now.
Yeah.
Kind of
Also, I was getting the with that,
yeah,
what's it called? The animus copetus, or the copetus animus on the dollar bill, like the
the
Illuminati.
pyramid. Right. Yeah. I don't know the Latin for it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh my God.
This
Sorry, guys. Like my mouse has a mind of its own. Like I barely touch it and it just does something weird. Yeah.
the top of the building as well, where the pyramid is, where the pyramid is, if that would be acting as the solar plexus, it also seems to have more of an accentuated kind of imagery for the third eye. It's got like a cross mark in it.
I'm also getting that what was built here is over like 10,000 years old. Like, at least within this Masonic structuring, that something goes back to the Knights Templar invasion. Something goes back to the Essene massacre. So where they like massacred all the Essene bloodlines.
Yeah.
Something goes back to the blood sacrifice of that. Council of Nicaea. And also I'm getting like Luciferian Knights Templar. So I'm getting like this was like, I'm getting that. Remember how we were just talking about with the Freemasonry? How there's different levels, different tiers of understanding, and how people actually get trapped up into these capsules or these mindsets of thinking that this is good, but not understanding that this bleeds back to the Jesuit orders, that this bleeds back to the Knights Templar.
Yeah, absolutely. And also within that presentation as well, there are some Masons that are actually service to others as well. So there is the trap, really, because they get called in and pulled into this kind of system thinking that this is all love and light, but in actual fact it's really not. It's far from the truth. I'm being called to this just south of Capitol Hill. There's a little paddle shaped arrow point just beneath it. So right, yeah, where Empire, just that. It's almost as if it's trying to push a charge with that. So I'd be interested to see if there is another arrow pointing from the top down into the middle point.
Noko says the circular area we're focused on feels like a giant shield, like not in a good way, a shield that is keeping the light out.
Yeah, definitely.
Swords at the flea market, left the knowledge with the current owner. He thinks it's cool. That was from Arizona Raven. Yeah, no, I get that. It's like everything was built in a way to expand or extract the organic code or to infiltrate off of it. It does seem like they're squaring the circle technology because you have the square inside the circle. So it's a way to rigidly modify the eternal flower of life energy into a level of domination or control.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
You're doing it on purpose, aren't you?
Guys, hang in there. It's something's wrong with my mouse. Like I'm telling you, it's like got a mind of its own.
They are very sensitive, those Apple mouses.
I'm seriously trying to touch it so gently and it just keeps moving.
You know, you can actually edit the settings to see how strong it gets as well in your preferences, system preferences. If you just want to go into that mountain that's just beneath it, that red hill.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, just to the left.
Oh, right, because we have the golf course man. So
yeah, the golf course man. Yeah, so this place I found was really, really sinister, actually. Find my notes. So the golf course here, the golf course itself, so you've got this big man that stood all around it and kind of leaning over as if trying to consume this kind of pattern shape here. Now within the pattern shape, what I was seeing was a 4 to 5 tiered or leveled structure that's within the earth body here. And it was within this space, what I found were extensive tunnel systems. And then upon the land, I heard the word secret meet point for midsummer ritual. And what I was seeing here was Moloch worship, hunting. It was like a human hunting spot. And there was so much fear and modulation, fear modulations and nauseousness, aggressive attacks coming in here. This was a main point for surveillance as well, and magnetic wave frequency causing mental field disruption, which we've now evolved that understanding of what that is into the mental field scrambler. So this was one of the points which runs through, this one connects actually into Pine Gap, and then this one also connects into the Telestra Tower, where the whole system runs through. Now, what I've also seen with this as well is water pollution and water damaging, and I was repeatedly given Erin Brockovich, the movie, The Case of Erin Brockovich, right? Where she finds out about this plant dumping all these chemicals in the water and poisoning everyone, basically. So that was the reference for what I was getting with this, about how this has been causing so much damage and fragmentation within the water. As seeing like the pure crystal codes of the water run into a decay, asymmetrical, cancerous radiation kind of spectrum within the geometries. So that was real gross. And what I also saw as well was this was a point for shady business deals on the grounds. It's funny because well, it's not funny, but when I went digging into this space, it's actually a federal golf course. And the original one used to be 2 kilometers from Capitol Hill, which is now buried in a lake.
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
Why would it be buried in a lake?
Well, I've got no idea, but it was first built in 1933. Not this one, but the one that was buried in a lake.
When you pointed this out to me,
Yeah,
I originally seen a man's head,
yeah,
his hump back in like a cradle or fetal position with his legs,
yeah,
and then holding on to, you were saying like a baby,
yeah,
holding on
absolutely.
to a child.
That's what I was saying, and it's almost as if like through the mouth part of it is like consuming the life force of the child.
And then I really find it interesting that we have these facilities here within what looks like almost like a meridian system.
Yeah.
It looks like brain implants and a heart implant.
Yeah. And what I'm seeing as well through the collective shadow within this negative structure as well, it's almost like a hybridization of the body, which I'm also now seeing connecting into the digressive grey species. So if the greys previously would have been a human species, they went through that many layers of hybridization that they became abnormal.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Wow. And as you say that, I feel myself transcending timelines all the way back 150 million years, going back to like original Draco, Odedicron, modifications of reptilian bodies, of Anunnaki, of serpent bodies, that this is like, even the grays are an offshoot of those modifications. Wow.
Yeah. It's real extensive here. So yeah, this place I found it was like the most disgusting. And it's also about 10 minutes drive in Mawson, and that's where the Masonic Temple is.
Why do I feel like we're going to be here someday?
I really do feel that as well.
I
I
feel
felt
like
that
we're
as soon
going
as we
to
sat down here. Yeah.
like we're going to this place. Yeah.
Round 3.
Hey, speaking of guys, if you've been following along and watching, me and Felix are both doing the Guardian Gridwork mission in Washington, D.C. We are going to yet again attempt another reversal Stargate and go in to correct the reversal energies and extract alien negative machinery, negative forces, working to really usher in the new Earth timelines and to combine our powers and energy to help heal Mother Earth and restore the original organic templates. So 2023 is the age of the grid workers, is it not, Felix?
It absolutely is. Yeah, definitely. So many people coming up to the mission now.
Rising into this new healing technology. And so this is going to be an immeasurable experience. We are hosting this event. You can go to my website, IndigoAngel222.com, go to coursework tab, scroll down to the Gridwork mission, where we will be doing a purification process, a 2-week pre-shadow work meeting. We will be doing, once we get there, 4 hours of grid work and itinerary review on site. We'll be hosting lunches and dinners. We will be doing a full day of grid work. And we will be following it up with an angel walk and photos, breathwork and cacao ceremony, and special live music performance by my divine, beautiful Noko, who I love so much, my indigenous tribal avian bird tribe woman. Essentially.
She's so bright.
Yeah, so we're going to be really working on reversing the Queen's energy at the White House, working on the reversal energies in the Vesica Pisces of the Washington Monument. We will be working on all of this stuff. So this is truly going to be an experience unlike anything else. And we just want to invite everybody who's called to do this work with us. It's going to be a 4-day experience. And we're going to be staying at a nice hotel. We're there, including all holistic wellness, massage, yoga, sound, Reiki, everything's available at this hotel. And to kind of make it a full round experience for everybody who's coming. So in the meantime, in between what we're doing, you can do these extra spiritual wellness practices to stay in alignment. And so yeah, we're so excited to be hosting this, and everything's up on the website now. So if you are ready to join us on this mission, we would love to have you come sign up. I'll leave all of the descriptions, or all of the information in the description, which I haven't put up yet. So I'll need a second once we get done with today's video to put it in. So just know that. But we're really excited. If you haven't seen the work that we've done before, we just recently did the work at the winter solstice in Rome at the Vatican, was our most recent reversal gate that we kind of tackled. How would you say that went, Felix?
Oh my God, it was incredible. It was so much fun. And very, very, very expansive. Even afterwards, the levels of clearing and transformation that came over the Christmas period, it was just like nothing I've ever felt before, which then extended into about 3 or 4 weeks into January as well. It just kept on changing and changing and changing. It felt so, so, so light and so open. And it was just something that I will never, ever, ever forget as well. It was just so perfect. It really was.
And I have to tell you, like, I went through hell there at the same time. I'm just going to stop sharing. I went through hell there at the same time. I mean, I put myself out there. I ended up getting sick.
You did, yeah.
But I have to tell you, after it all cleared, I literally felt like it was the deepest clearing I've ever experienced in my life. Something came off of me that was so heavy. My soul felt it was like blissed. I felt like I was blissed. I wasn't blessed, I was blissed. And I was like so much more psychic. I was so much more in tune. Just was total transformation. So I'm not going to lie, when you go to reversal gate, that's why we're doing these preparation processes of purification and shadow work, is because it's absolutely a necessity to access reversal energy.
Oh my God.
This is going against the grain of what the super ultra light community is doing, right? We are the warrior class. We're the warrior team. We're the indigo type 3 templating that has the ability to extract negative and nefarious forces out of the land. And so we're going in with that intention, with that potential of correcting what is in a reversal state.
Absolutely. And I think it's so apt as well, and so perfect just to bring this in now as well. When we work to correct these reversal gates, we've had so much practice on reversing our own reversals as well. And that's really kind of the core of where we have developed these levels of healing, I suppose, is to understand that what is within ourselves is also within the earth body, and vice versa. And then we can work wherever you get called will also be mirrored replication within your own holographic body template, a universal structure. So it's just a case of really sourcing and locating. Yeah.
Yeah, it truly is.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's sacrificial on some level as well. But I've always believed that what is sacrificial, like when you consciously decide to like, I don't want to say like sacrifice your energies, because it's like it is and it isn't in a lot of levels, right? Like it's like you're consciously making a choice to put yourself on the line for the greater good. And I feel like that's kind of what it is for me anyways, personally.
Yeah.
I go into it on a very intentional level of self-experimentation and wanting to learn to grow.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't grow my greatest expansion of my spirituality unless I'm putting myself on the line and I'm cutting through the resistance. I'm cutting through hardships. I'm cutting through what is unknown. And through what is unknown, I learn how to attain new wisdom.
Yeah.
And so I pray for wisdom all the time. And when I do that, I'm therefore granted experiences that will allow me to carve wisdom into my rock, into refinement of my inner diamond.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. I was just seeing the CDT plates coming up, and I was seeing all the encryptions of the knowledge being written all over the race morphogenetic field and through the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally written on the bones.
It is.
Yeah, in the foundations. When you start to integrate it, it comes through the levels of the skin and then coming in through the muscles, and then finally to rest and sit in full integration, sits as in carving on the bones.
It's a full skeletal restructure.
It really is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was something that even was coming up through the 444 Gateway, the Starseed course that we just did. We did an entire skeletal restructure as we integrated more light from the Andromedan system. I was guided to bring light into the skeletal structure. And that's the armoring up process to, as we, it's like we're spiritual. I feel like a spiritual army almost, like on a level, like we're like an army of light.
Yeah.
That's shining into the darkness.
Oh, that's so perfect as well, because what I've really felt so much lately is all of this warrior templating really restore and reconstruct to be able to stand in its highest emanation of sovereignty and empowerment whilst maintaining divinity and grace. Within that, it is a complete reformation since the Vatican and since the Trail of Tears in February, the reversal, the correction to the reversal in the solar plexus of the masculine. It really is about kind of reconstructing this warrior within. Yeah.
And we have to take it on. We really do. Like it is a level of mastery. It is a level of shadow work for sure. That is it's masterful. It's stepping out of the fear, like clearing all the fear matrix programs, clearing all of the fear templating, what you have programmed in the oversoul or in your universal control panel, what you have residing up underneath your feet. A lot of that extends down as if we have fear programming up here, well, we sure as heck are walking on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
So, yeah, we have to dissolve that templating up underneath us and ground ourselves into the organic crystal caves, the obsidian crystal caves in the Yucatan, the selenite caves in Chihuahua, Mexico, and integrate from from those sovereign pockets of crystal technology that have not been deconstructed or destabilized by the Atlantean grids, by the Atlantean templating. There's still pockets that exist on the earth that have not been destabilized by the fall of man. Believe it or not.
Wow.
There.
And what would you also say about like the clear quartz caves within Canberra, within Black Mountain?
Black Mountain.
Yeah.
Let's root ourselves right there right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Would you like to guide us?
Yeah, definitely. Should we just zone into that?
Let's maybe close it up like that.
Yeah.
That would be a good closing point because I think we've covered quite a bit. I
We've
know
done
there's
a lot,
so much more we could have gotten to. I think that Australia would be good for a second deep dive for us to go into.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Can you pull up an image of the Black Mountain?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me find one, a good one.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. It's an actual black mountain.
Mm.
Well, I'll just show you what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Everyone can help me decide.
There we go. Let's
Yeah.
get that picture with the gentleman at the top with his sleeveless. We can pretend he's with
This guy?
us. Yeah, go on then. Oh wow, hey yeah.
Oh wait, it doesn't let me find you. Okay, there we go. Here he is. Hey.
Okay. Oh hey. Brilliant. Okay. And just feeling ourselves connecting into this mountain space at the moment and merging inwards into the architecture, the water held within the crystal body, igniting and connecting within the cellular structure of the individual. Universal Tree of Life presentation expands and opens, drawing in this crystal light through the base of the feet, running through the first, the second, the third, illuminating fourth, fifth, and sixth, expanding, seventh, eighth, and ninth, connecting to the divine feminine goddess of the mountain, Yatoras Miyakurasna Shayan, 10th, 11th, 12th, illumination, holographic merging to the divine feminine goddess.
I feel Pachamama coming through.
Brilliant. I'm also feeling the rishis as well. And connecting into the Andromeda code structure, moving down through the vertical pillar, through this celestial tree alignment, rooting through your body, moving the information through as we expand to heal, repair, and clean the cellular body, the cellular blueprints. Lifting to release out any layers of grey smoke, grey water, fragmentation within the cellular wall, spinning, clearing to release, re-arcing through the cellular blueprints. Pain lifting through the right side body, through the masculine. Cracking of the spine. Age reversal, but pertaining the wisdom. Rejuvenation of the body through the skeletal structure. Yakoras ma'atia nai niakras matpush mimunya. Pupils and irises of the eyes flash to gold. Connecting in a trinary sequence through all three eyes, and then one to the heart. Bridging unification between the divine mind and the divine cosmic heart. As above, so below. As within, as without. Heavy pain lifts and releases from the heart, heartbreak, torment, despair, and torture.
This guy, it's just like I felt his wave come through when he said that. Like he's like playing it for himself.
Well, that's so funny.
And then I could hear our music start to come in. The baddest of them all.
Oh, brilliant. Love it. Okay.
Mm.
Spiral spins, rotation, acceleration through the body structure, accelerating spins of release through golden infrastructure, Yokoras Matiyasna Oya, re-arcing into the morphogenetic field, Sianai Yokoras Matpushmi Munya, and lifting to release, opening through the morphogenetic gate transfers, walking through the gates, transference of information back to the source, core structure, releasing of information.
And I want to say reinstalling the original control seeds of the original divine creation seeds of the Pleiadians up underneath the Uluru, activating and giving power back to the original grandmother tree.
Brilliant.
Original grandmother templating, the grandmother whales, the grandmother turtles, the grandmother indigenous Anangu people. Paying our homage and respect to their land, to their kind, to their creed, to their wisdom, to their knowledge, to their ancient, historical encoding to the land of the original Lemuria, and that we honor and that we worship and that we give thanks and we give our homage to their allegiance here as the original divine flame holders and keepers of the violet flame of this land.
Love it. Updating through all fields and updating through all localized grids, sealing forward through all levels or layers of light, sealing forward through all bodies, re-arcing through to the apotheosis, drawing back the light of the apotheosis through the layers of the land and through the body. Restoration through the indigenous, through the Anangu, through all tribes.
Clearing passageways to the Andromedan portal. Clearing connections to the original Ark of the Covenant. Connecting us to the stellar gateways of the Aurora passageways.
Heart center resets, emerald coding, emerald templating, restoring through the body, restoring through the structure, rebuilding into the grid templates, restoring through the light field genetics. Resurrecting through the vertical axes, updating through the horizontal.
Picking through the frequency fences of inversion malnutrition.
correcting into the mind fields, the mind waves. Cetus constellation, grandmother whale, stepping forwards, breathing their sound wave vibrations, re-instantiating through the mental capacities, bridging in repair and reconstruct to the mental fields, and dissolving out AI infiltration, lifting to release, running to dissolve, and expanding as waves of the ocean, waves of plasma, air, elemental energy, reconstructing the mental field to its fullest, highest capacity of the highest love light of source. I feel we're good here.
Yeah, and so shall it be.
Yeah, sailing forward through all levels of layers of light, sailing forward now through the breath of the divine I am presence, breathing in.
Command and request.
Healing through each dimensional layer, through each body. I'm returning back into your structures.
Mm.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That's
That
so
was
good.
so powerful. I have to tell you, I felt the lands of Australia responding to us.
Mm.
I was getting feedback from that grid point location, and from the 22° south ley line, I kept getting that. 22.
Oh, wow.
So 22 was responding.
Nice.
I got
We'll have to try that on there.
confirmation. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody watching this live remote view today, as so much came through, and we're really excited to share this with all of you. We do have a future remote view coming up on May 10th, 2023 at 11 a.m. We're going to be live remote viewing Hawaii and the Bimini Islands and any strongholds that are placed upon the Lemurian gate system. So I will continue to put forward cosmic grid updates that will be kind of working us to that grid location essentially, but please go ahead and if you can, set your reminders for that, because essentially, let me see if I can just show really quick. I'll do like a quick screen share if I have it. Yeah, just to give you guys some insight here. If you go to my YouTube channel, upcoming live streams, you would just go to live remote view Hawaii and Bimini Islands, and then you would just make sure to set your notifications so that way you can be active for that live remote view. Also on April 27th, 2023 at 11 o'clock, I am having Gene Decode on the channel. So this is very exciting for me. It's going to be a huge collaboration, and hopefully he'll give us some more insight in terms of Washington, D.C., as he is somewhat of a mastermind when it comes to grid intel. So I can't wait to pick his brain, and I look forward to it. So thank you all for watching today, and be sure to subscribe to Felix's channel at the Heart Center on YouTube. Felix, do you have anything else you would like to say?
I think I'm good, actually. I think we've done it all.
Did I cover it all for you?
Yeah, the only thing that I have got on is I'm running a calibration on Sunday, whatever this Sunday is, Sunday the 9th, Easter Sunday. I will be running a calibration, and I'll post it out onto my YouTube channel. It's going to be at 6 p.m. UK time. And I'm very excited to work through this Easter Gateway with you all. So yeah, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. Also on my Patreon, patreon.com/IndigoAngel, be sure to sign up, because we are hosting new Gridworks for April. Noko will be doing the next facilitation. So I'm excited. Felix, do you think you'll be present for Noko's debut of her Gridwork? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think that's going to be loads of fun. She's a fantastic grid worker. So yeah, I'd love to support her. Yeah, it would be awesome. So we're putting that together right now. So be sure to sign up so that way you can do this grid work with us. Okay. And keep bringing forward the new Earth revolution
of Gridwork.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much, and namaste. Have a beautiful everything, and we will see you soon.
Yeah. Bye. You're still recording.
I'm stopping the recording.